behind the glass, we've got Chelsea Lee Byers, the woman behind the glass. I'm excited, guys. How are we feeling about tonight's draft?
I'm pumped. I was waiting for Johnny to say something. I'm really excited. There's already been a lot between the league, which is great. It's going to be exciting to see what we choose as an eighth spot. I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, 8 spot. It's going to be a little interesting, right, Johnny?
Yeah, I'm really excited. Sorry, I was just trying to make sure that the whole live stream was going.
It's
So
good.
I was a little absent there in the beginning. I am Jack, dude. I love mock. You know how much I love mock drafts. We did a whole 24 hours. I love drafts even more. Maybe that's the next thing we do, Big Travie. Maybe we do 24 straight hours of actual drafts. I don't know. That's for a different time, a different show. Right now, we are about to dominate this draft. You know why? Because
we got that draft kit,
have
baby.
The draft kit, dude. We have the Fantasy Whisperers draft kit, and we are going to use it to draft our teams. And you, Whisper Nation, get to follow along as we are drafting along with Whisper Nation, or the listeners who have made it into the league. So this is going to be a lot of fun, dude. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm super pumped. So I think we're ready to start this bad boy off in about 1 minute. Chelsea, did you have any big strategies that you're looking forward to in this one? Remember, this is a 12 team, but it's a 2-flex league. Those flex spots can be a running back, wide receiver, or tight end. So anything really on your mind as we head into this?
For sure. Well, just since you mentioned and emphasized the flex thing, I think people always get excited looking at, oh, well, maybe I could plug in a tight end into one of those extra flex positions. And yeah, that's totally true. But you've got to realize that the tight end class is such a really shallow, talent pool, and the tight ends don't typically give you a lot of points. So it's a kind of a distraction, and I'm excited to see who falls into that trap.
We're gonna have
tight ends are people too, Chelsea. Calling them
Yeah,
shallow. Wow, unreal.
All right. Well, I think Whisper Nation is ready. We've got everybody in here.
All right.
We are getting some. Let's just do this.
Let's do it. All right.
And we're on the clock.
I've been really excited for this draft to begin because before it's even started, there's been so much activity. There's been a lot of picks being traded back and forth.
Yeah, we enabled that.
This is pretty crazy. I did not expect it at all.
Saquon Barkley goes off the board here first by Reed Tyler. Then Sauce Boss 22, one of my favorite names out there in the game. Christian McCaffrey takes it number 2. Here we go. Half point PPR. So, this is awesome. So check it out. We had some late in the game drama here as Dawson Mizell basically was going to have to auto draft here because he had got double booked by his softball league or baseball league, I guess. Probably softball. That's how soft he was. Trying to cancel on us. No, I'm just kidding. It got canceled though. Too much rain for them out there. They can't play. So Alvin Kamara goes off the board for Dawson Mizell. Then Lindsey Daylo coming in with Ezekiel Elliott here.
What do you guys think about
absorbing that risk?
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because I do think that he will sign. I was really kind of hoping he would fall to us at 8. That would have been dope. But Lindsey, who is very, very good at fantasy football, was in the Lady Listener League last year. Dominated. She is a great drafter.
I just want to add a point of clarification. Lindsay did kick total butt in the Lady Listener League last year, but she didn't dominate.
The woman behind the glass
is the woman who won.
She did win it all. But Lindsay, she held her own. She had a good team.
And I think it was her first year in fantasy, so mad props to Lindsay always.
Yeah, and
love.
she is started this one off really nicely. I like
Strong.
it.
And we might have our only candidate here for that auto draft here with A. Seha here, Antonio. Let me see if I can find him on Instagram. Get this guy in the league, man.
This guy was crazy joining us on all the mock drafts. Dude.
Yeah. Maybe. So I tried to shout him out. Otherwise, I guess we're going to have our one and only here. That would not be good. So
who's that going to be? Is that DeAndre Hopkins?
Yeah, I think that's what it'll end up being here is D Hop. So,
Well,
I mean, look, it's gonna happen. You know, if you're gonna have leagues with people, you know, that you don't fully know all the way, so sometimes you're gonna play in those leagues, and it's all just about being the person that lifts that person up, finding that person in your league and saying, look, you got to join these drafts. We put a lot of time and effort into these. So hopefully we can get reached out to him. Oh, Devontae Adams was taken though.
interesting.
So maybe it wasn't an auto draft. Oh, it says, yeah, auto pick. So
Huh.
I don't know.
So
I don't know what's going on.
Just so Travis, you guys are going to have to break down who is around us when we're up right now because I cannot see the players available.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, DeAndre Hopkins Hopkins just went off the board, and then David Johnson after that. So right now, our top available are Le'Veon Bell, Nick Chubb, Julio Jones, James Conner, Michael Thomas, Todd Gurley, OBJ, Tyreek Hill. So I think we have an idea of who we want here. I think it's important that we discuss like what strategy we want to go with. Are we going running back heavy first, maybe looking at upside down, kind of let the draft play with us? What's our strategy here?
I mean, we're in the 8th spot. I think running backs are just always a value. It ends up thinning out a lot quicker than you expect it to. And it's a PPR league. I mean, I'm spotting a guy that I think I like in this first spot, but I want to hear Johnny's thoughts first.
Honestly, I think we need to go either Juju or we go OBJ.
That's specific. That's not a strategy, Johnny. You're just
No,
aiming
because
for dudes.
Listen, it's a PPR league, and we know these guys.
It's half point.
I know, but you can get these running backs that are third down running backs that are going to be just fine for you. If we get solid wide receivers, those wide receivers thin out quicker than we think, especially the ones that get targeted often. I'm just saying that's where I would go. Because I like the running backs that are in the second and the third round. I think that if you wanted to go in that area, we could, or you get the chance to double up on wide receiver.
I'm actually going to side with Johnny here. I came in thinking running back in the first round, but I've noticed that at this spot in the draft, you can actually kind of go upside down. So I like our chances to go wide receiver and see what we end up with later at running back.
All right, 2-1. Go for it.
Got 15 seconds.
We're taking OBJ in the first
round.
round.
Cleveland. This one's for
go.
you. It's a little LeBron shout out. I know Big Travy's a little hurt right now because LeBron let him down last year, but it's okay.
That's
dude.
right. He'll bounce back here. We know it.
I think Baker Mayfield's new king of Cleveland.
Is he or is
What's
it
that?
Yeah. Baker
the
Mayfield?
king of Cleveland?
Yeah.
He's still in Cleveland.
That
so
is.
that helps. You want to have a throne. Like if you're on the throne, that's what works.
What do you think Jacob Blay is going to do here?
I think he is going to go Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
Wow, you were spot on there.
I'm a whisperer. What do you expect?
Jacob Blay goes with Le'Veon Bell.
All right, what do we think about this? Do we like Le'Veon Bell here? Now, Le'Veon Bell
not
is
the
guy,
running back I would have preferred there.
Yeah, but we won't mention that, and we'll shut our
literally
mouths,
just did.
and we'll see what happens here. But Le'Veon Bell is a guy that I've been rising on as of late. Again, you know, the concerns always outweigh, you know, whenever I'm trying to bring up Le'Veon Bell because, you know, Adam Gase, I know you're on the side that you think that he will, you know, use Le'Veon Bell to the full extent, but I don't think that.
I think he'll use him. My problem isn't the usage. I think the usage will be there. I just don't think that usage really justifies a first-round pick for this guy. Behind a very bad offensive line, a year off, I have trouble like having faith in the Jets.
Lisa here, I like Lisa going James Conner. Like I would go James Conner over Le'Veon Bell.
Oh, I 100% agree with that. I really like what she did there. I like James Conner. I think what the Steelers do year in and year out using one back. I know we've heard a lot of whispers, but then, you know, in the last couple of weeks, we've actually heard the right whispers about James Conner. There's just been a lot of noise, and now we're seeing that James Conner is going to be that guy, I think, for Pittsburgh, and that's what people need to realize.
All right, so after Le'Veon Bell went Michael Thomas, then Julio Jones. Not really surprising there, right?
Yeah. Now remember, this is part of a trade. This pick that's coming up here after Julio, then James Conner,
Oh,
Tyreek Hill, Dalvin Cook. So now, Jay Beeler 02 traded for this pick from MP Bowling. For some other picks that are going on later on. I don't have the full. I think I can bring those up.
Yeah, man.
The
We had
full
some
details of that trade.
All right. Well,
But
there it goes.
it's a multifaceted trade, and there's Nick Chubb off the
Yeah.
board, a guy that I knew we couldn't get in the second round, but I let Johnny talk me out of it.
I
That's,
tried to talk you back
no,
into it.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, it's fine.
It's okay.
It's great.
But I think I want to continue our trend here and take the other guy we were talking about, and that's Juju.
There you go.
So
Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Can anybody talk
Double
me?
down.
No, not at
Double
all.
down.
Juju and OBJ, that team is stacked. Now, I wouldn't have had it any other way. That's exactly what I wanted. Exactly what I
Any-
wanted.
I'm
Any inclination to go with Todd Gurley here?
None.
little bit of
zero
risk.
inclination.
Can I have a negative? Because I would be marked down for that. Juju is the answer here. Is my number 2 wide receiver on the year. This guy is going to feast.
All right,
Whisper
you're
Nation.
watching Johnny's TFW draft. We're drafting Johnny's team here, so just remember that when we get dominated this year. Just kidding. I love
That's
I
not
love this.
going to happen based on
I
our
love
first
this.
2 picks.
I love this.
All right, so let's back it up here and talk Tyreek Hill paired with James Conner. I love that, right? You love that?
Yeah, no, that's good. I think that's solid. You want to, especially on the ends, you want to stack those two
Really exciting.
really good. Yeah, I mean that has elite upside. You have number 1 upside at both guys. And I know that might sound a little crazy, but I think Conner really does have a number 1 overall ceiling. There were times last week where he was up in that range. So love that.
Wow, he was balling out.
Last year? Did I say last week?
Yeah, you said last week. It's okay. It's
I don't
been a
think I
long.
did.
It's hey.
Check the tape.
It's yeah. It's
Check the tape.
It's been a long season already, and it's not even begun. All right, so we had Dalvin Cook go right after Tyreek Hill, then Nick Chubb, which was the guy that we had discussed before we went live about taking. Then Joe Mixon. So Nick Chubb is just great.
I gotta defend my boy Salcedo here, 99. He's just getting ripped apart in the sleeper chat here. He drafts Damian Williams, Nate Frankel, Jay Blay, Sauce Boss 22, all lighting him up, laughing at him, saying he drafted RBBC. I don't know that Damian Williams is part of an RBBC. I think he is susceptible to losing this job 100%. And he's never had more than 50 carries. But I think if he's healthy to go week 1, you're going to get a guy that's going to give you RB1 numbers.
Yeah, for sure. But it's pretty risky here. That's
in the
gotta be
second
the-
round for sure.
In the second round, I think he could have gotten him probably in the 3rd. He's been falling to the 4th or 5th, but I mean, if he can remain the starter all year long, that's a steal.
So
Yeah,
listen, the
That's
question's
short answer.
then, which running back would you have taken ahead of Damian Williams? Right?
I
There's
would have taken
Gurley
Todd Gurley.
available.
I would have taken Todd Gurley over Damian, and I would have.
And
Yeah, I
Johnny
like-
having his way, that would have been what it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
We would not have had a
Unreal.
choice.
He's just attacking me.
That's what we do.
Would
Somebody's
you
got to
guys-
keep.
Okay, would
Somebody's
you
got to
guys,
keep you.
honestly, would you guys rather have Chubb and Juju?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I don't know. Look, I love OBJ. I think OBJ is elite upside. I think Chubb is the same. And there is cause for some concern that Chubb's ceiling is just a little bit tapped with Kareem Hunt coming back. So I understand wanting to go with a guy in OBJ whose ceiling is probably untapped in that Cleveland offense. So, all right. So Damian Williams gets taken. Then Mike Evans, part of that trade between MP Bowling and Jay Baylor 02. And then after that, Todd Gurley finally comes off the board here. We've been talking about him for a few picks.
Was that
And then
auto-picked?
Lindsey,
It was
Uh,
auto pick. It wasn't even by choice.
I saw him come in and then out. Whatever. You can't help them all. You just give and you give and you give to people. And this is what happens, But that's okay. Auto pick, Keenan Allen. What do we think about the Keenan Allen pick here? Chelsea, are you a big Keenan Allen fan as your wide receiver 1?
No.
Bottom line.
And that's
I
the
think
bottom
there-
line.
I
Isn't he
think there
just-
are people with with a more exciting upside just
Yeah.
sitting there.
That was just going to say, he's just so vanilla, right?
boring.
Yeah,
That's all. And sure, maybe he'll get the job done, but he's not gonna make you excited along the way.
I don't know,
like-
dude. There are
it's like-
some weeks when when Philip Rivers actually targets him, he looks amazing. But
Yeah, 2
again,
weeks out of the
Phillip
year, Johnny.
Rivers-
Cool.
know,
Yeah, I
know.
mean-
no,
I'm-
hey, I know. I'm
Uh,
on the same bandwagon as you guys. I'm just saying that he has true talent. Just Philip Rivers never seems to tap into it fully.
And listen, I must admit that I am hoping that there is another wide receiver star that emerges on that offense. So I do have some bias that I'm holding, and I just want to kind of put bad things out in the air for Keenan Allen right now.
Bad
so.
things.
We
I
do
just-
not endorse this side of Chelsea.
Whoa, Chelsea's becoming the dark woman behind the
Wow.
glass. It's getting
Presents
stormy.
The dark side. I don't know what I don't know what kind of accent
Not
that
Only
was.
Sith
Bad
stealing
things,
absolutes,
just,
Chelsea.
Like, not wide receiver one, that's all
I
I'm
agree.
saying.
I 100% agree. In fact, I would have preferred to do what Sauce Boss did here and took Antonio Brown over Keenan
You
Allen.
just like
because I-
saying the dude's name.
I do. I
Let's-
did. Sauce Boss. I
No,
love
it
Sauce
is
Boss.
Pretty awesome, actually.
But Antonio Brown, I think, has a higher upside there. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't mind going there, and I think that's the point. Is that we'll see what happens there. Don't want to spend the too much time on this
know,
pick
we-
of Keenan Allen here for Lindsay. We're just ripping her apart. I feel bad.
And I actually thought Mike Evans was available. That's probably the only person I would have taken ahead. I don't know. I take it back.
So Aaron Jones gets taken. We actually just released. If you guys go over to our YouTube channel, which you're on right now, and pick and just after this is over, watch the Devonta Freeman, Aaron Jones face off that we did. We had a lot of fun doing that, me and Johnny. So it's worth it. You guys probably should have watched this before you drafted with us, but it only released about 2 minutes before. So
That is the nice
It's a
thing.
10-minute
It
video.
is laggy. So, actually, no, not really.
what? Not that much.
Not that much. I was gonna say.
Okay,
like,
so
we were-
after Aaron Jones went Antonio Brown to Sauce Boss 22, then Travis Kelsey,
Mm.
followed by Adam Thielen, Devonta Freeman,
Whoa.
and Amari Cooper.
On YouTube, we got Dawson is saying Adam Thielen is better than AB. What do you guys think about that?
Oh,
What are you guys thinking?
Okay, so we're gonna have an episode next week. It's gonna be our change of heart episode, guys. We've been watching, maybe gonna think a little bit differently about. So look out for that to come out. One of the candidates for me, as I'm doing my early research for that episode, is Adam Thielen. So it's a guy at the beginning of this offseason. I really thought it was Diggs over Thielen. No matter what, Thielen was going to kind of fall back into and not really have the ceiling. I've now watched Kirk Cousins in 2 straight games hit Thielen on 3 bombs down the sideline. And these are routes that I thought they were going to specifically use for Diggs. Doesn't mean they're not going to do it.
Pat Mahomes.
But I'm just saying, like, I'm starting to change my tune on Adam Thielen. I'm starting to see how they're using him in that offense, and I
Well-
think he
Oh,
could
he's gonna be
feast.
good.
Okay, so
Adam-
Adam Thielen, Devonta Freeman, Amari Cooper, T.Y. Hilton, and Pat Mahomes by A. Seha, and then Leonard Fournette as part of that deal, and then Julian Edelman, and now we're on the clock. So Chelsea, break it down for us here.
I'm gonna throw it over to Johnny. I was looking at something else, not ready for go for it, Johnny.
Oh, I have no
All right.
idea. I can't even see the players.
All right, so we available right now are Kerryon Johnson, Melvin Gordon, Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery, Chris Carson, Marlon Mack, Stephon Diggs, Zach Ertz. I think I know who I want to go here,
I think I know
um,
who you want to go as well.
and I don't know how you're feeling about this, but
I think I know exactly where you're going with this, and I'm
Who I
fine
wanna
with
see-
it.
I wish Travis could write it down on a piece of paper and Johnny can
it's
right
this
now.
guy right here.
Yeah, it's that guy. It's
Yeah,
that guy.
it's
I-
that guy.
Do
Should
you
you let
agree?
Johnny pick
We're just
it?
gonna outvote you.
Okay, go.
We're gonna
Take-
outvote you here. We're taking Kerryon Johnson here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and Johnny was wrong.
I was wrong.
I like her.
And
But
I think
like
I'm
that one.
excited
I
about
do
that.
like that one. I am
Yeah.
cooling a little bit on Kerryon Johnson. I think that it is.
we're getting him in the
concerning-
back of the third though here.
I know, but it is concerning that he has not taken the third down reps or in either preseason game. They are, Ty Johnson.
You
is
and
the
just
guy.
tying all this preseason thing to like all
I'm
this
just
stuff.
saying, you
Bro.
would think that they would show it at least once. Like he had plenty of snaps in this preseason game, and not once did he get a third down carry, which makes me concerned because that was the high upside that we thought Kerryon could jump into if he gets those third down.
What is your concern level? Like 1 to 10, how concerned are you that Kerryon didn't see any preseason third down snaps?
When we take the guy in the fourth, because I know which guy we're going to get in the fourth, after we take that guy, I will explain why that guy is who I thought you were going to take here, and I would have been okay with it here.
Well, I'm actually going to surprise you, I think, with
That
the
was
guy I want in the
super
next round.
Okay. Unreal.
I'm actually going to message you. I'm going to
you
message
think
you on
know a guy.
Facebook.
Okay.
I'm going to just get us into a.
Yeah, let's do it. You think you know a guy, you know?
So here, yeah. Well, you
Secret
don't.
Chat channels happening.
Yeah, we gotta talk outside of here. I'm thinking.
Yeah, we don't want too many. I do like that if he's available. I don't think he'll be there, but I don't think we can even. The Whisper Nation is going to be like, "What are we doing? What are we listening to?"
Interesting.
Do the reactions. That'll keep him into it.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, Kerryon Johnson went. Then Jay Blay took Chris Carson. Or I'm sorry, this is actually Jay Beeler, part of a trade with Jay Blay.
They like
These guys
traded back and forth. They traded like, 5 picks.
So Chris Carson comes off the board here. Not, definitely a guy I was looking at there. So.
But like you looked at him and then you glanced
Kept
by.
looking at other
Yeah,
guys,
right.
yeah.
See right there. That I thought we were gonna go. I thought you were thinking David Montgomery, and I actually almost.
Yeah, I think his upside's probably greater, but I think Kerryon's more sure to get the volume now than Montgomery is. Even though we know the hype's all there, but this is the same coach that said Jordan Howard could catch and was going to catch a bunch of balls. And now he's saying the same thing about Dave Montgomery. I know Montgomery can catch, don't get me wrong. But Tariq Cohen exists, Johnny.
Yeah,
that's your boy.
Is David Montgomery somebody you trust as your RB1?
Yeah. Right? I don't know.
It makes sense.
That's good.
This is the situation we're sitting in now where we've taken Kerryon Johnson. We know they cut Theo Riddick. We know this team wants to run. They hired Darrell Bevel. We have the stats on Darrell Bevel. That guy averages over 30 rush attempts per game in his 11 seasons calling plays. I like Kerryon Johnson's path to volume. I think it's not I know you're a little bit concerned, Johnny, but I think it's just a little bit premature to be concerned like that.
Are you concerned that Kerryon Johnson said that he's not even a 3-down back?
No, dude, I'm not concerned. It's the same thing where James Conner said, I'm on a split time. It's going to be 50-50. And then we see him
that was a lie.
They're just humble.
Yeah.
They're just humble.
Yeah, they like their teammates. Look at Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram.
I really hope the other guy that we're talking about falls to us. Anyway, we've got Chris Carson, who as of late has been really climbing up boards with the monster news that came out the other day. Now, take it for what it's worth. Or actually, Travis brought up a good point on our show. It wasn't just the head coach, Pete Carroll, who was saying that Chris Carson was going to catch balls out of the backfield. It was the offensive coordinator who Travis has brought up a good point. Like, he has been the consistent one. He's been the guy who doesn't really lie to us, which we love as fantasy owners. So I am kind of buying that part. I am buying that Chris Carson could, we all think that Penny is this really, really good running back, myself included, because what I saw in college. But sometimes that game doesn't always transfer over, and maybe that's the case for, for Penny, or maybe it's just Chris Carson is their boy, and, he's got a little side hustle deal going on with Pete Carroll or something. I don't know, maybe. But Chris Carson, I'm buying that. I'm fine with him going Jay Blee, taking Chris Carson there.
Yeah, he was a guy I was definitely considering there, but I think the upside's, really more higher with Kerryon than it is with Chris Carson. Just because I think Rashad Penny is a guy they drafted in the first round, they're going to want to mix in.
Man, Lisa Lynn is just drafting. Her team is nice. I like that team. Yeah.
I should have known Lisa was going to take Max. She's a Colts fan.
And another lady listener league.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not going to lie. She's got a real nice team there.
Dude, quit staring at her team, dude.
Hey, greatness can.
Why don't you look at our team, dude?
I am looking. I love our team, dude.
Speaking of our team, we're just 2 picks away, and it's curious to see who's coming off the clock.
Nathan Frankel here in the sleeper chat says, I hate all of you and my team. So somebody is feeling the pressure of succumbing to draft panic.
So full of hate.
Julio Jones, Dalvin Cook, Josh Jacobs, Stephon Diggs. Yes, you should feel bad about what you've drafted.
No.
Just kidding. I like Dalvin Cook, love Julio. Josh Jacobs is a little bit concerning.
But he's got Dalvin Cook.
So I'm going to revisit this. Would you guys rather have had Chubb, Juju, and Stephon Diggs, or what we have now?
Diggs, who we would have taken though.
Or look at
I don't know if that was.
Look at the wide receivers that are coming up.
You know what, Johnny? I'm not going to sit here and stroke your ego the rest of this draft,
And
dude.
also, we're in the fourth
not
round.
going to pass. Okay, we have a team now. We're adapting.
Wow.
Okay,
Why are
and
you getting so
we-
angry about it.
Nobody's getting angry. You just like to bring up the past, dude. We're living in the now with Whisper Nation right here on YouTube Live. Thanks for joining us, guys. We appreciate you. And head on over to the fantasywhispers.com. Get all look at this swag. This swag right here. New logo shirt.
New boss.
You can get this. Go to fantasywhispers.com.
All right.
All right, so Stephon Diggs, then Brandon Cooks. And we are one pick away from our 4th round pick, lady and gentlemen.
Ooh, Sony, that's a good one. I like
Oh,
Sony
yeah,
Michel.
sure. All the guys are coming off. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
So now we've got a situation on our hands here, folks.
Indeed. Well, in our secret privates chat, we're discussing our picks between the rounds. Sony Michel came up. Jacob Blay went ahead and took him.
And you were not a fan of Sony
Oh, no, I
Michel.
do not endorse that pick. I just think it's too early to pick anyone on the Patriots offense. I think Tom Brady just does such a good job of running the whole offense through him. It's not really a running back that's going to carry much. I mean, maybe, but it's just too early for me.
And we've also seen that they love to throw the backs, and we haven't seen Michel actually get a lot of receiving work. So
I
that
think
is a
taking
little
a
scary.
gamble on the second running back later in the draft is worthwhile. But anyways, here we are in the 4th round.
All right, so we could continue to try and stack running backs, which is what you should probably do when you go upside down. But there's some other options here. So what are we thinking, Johnny?
I don't know because I can't see the players.
So we got Melvin Gordon, Zach Ertz, Derrick Henry,
Ooh,
Mark Ingram.
I think we should grab Melvin Gordon here. I think in the 4th round, if he comes back, this team is unstoppable. It's deep enough in the draft where we can recover in the next round. We can get another running back, or we can get.
I don't like missing 8 weeks of the season out of my RB2.
We don't know that though. We don't know how many weeks he's going to, because if he signs next week,
Johnny.
If he signs,
All right, we're taking Melvin Gordon here. And I think here's the reasoning. Melvin Gordon is a top 5 back when he's on the field. We know it. He's productive. Now we just may have to do what we need to do in the back few rounds to make sure we ensure our backfield here by stacking a bunch of other running backs continuously for the rest of the draft.
So with the single pick, we've ensured that our future is full of more running backs.
Yes.
Okay.
What we do know is that we've drafted the best wide receiving combo in the draft right now. So we can hang our head on that.
We have mock draft a million times, and I know that we can pull this draft out very, very okay on running backs, even if we waited 3 more
That's
rounds.
what you should strive to be, Whisper Nation, in life.
Very okay.
Very okay. That's what we want.
Oh my God, that's the next shirt.
That is a shirt.
I am very, very okay at fantasy football.
You guys are unreal. No confidence, huh? No
Johnny,
confidence.
open
All right.
Sleeper on your phone. Open that app on your phone so you can follow along, and we don't have to read you the guys and waste our time.
No, I can't.
Why?
Can't see the guys' names because I'm not in the draft.
See who's available.
Right.
So Chelsea's on the phone, not in the draft. Can see who's available.
I joined the draft. I'm just a witness.
She's
It's
witnessing
just a
the
fly on the
greatness.
wall.
All right, so
You could
Melvin
see
Gordon.
who's available.
Yeah,
Yeah, dog.
All right.
yeah, dog. All right, so Melvin Gordon, then Zach Ertz, followed by DJ Moore, then Mark Ingram. And now back to Lindsay, who will be drafting in her 4th pick here. So she's got Zeke Elliott, Keenan Allen, T.Y. Hilton. Who will she go with next?
Ooh, I like her options.
Oh, there we go. Now we're good. Got it. Thanks, Chelsea. Thanks for
Taking
no-
over that
thanks
tech
for,
role.
Thanks for nothing, Travis.
I only gave you the link, so you
I
can't
know.
figure it out. That's not on me.
If we can survive getting through this draft, this team, are we going to survive this season?
Yes.
Yeah, well,
we
see,
are-
here's the thing. It's all about adversity. We hit the adversity early, then we rise above.
I think it's about overcoming adversity.
No, it's just about adversity, leaning in to the darkness that is these middle rounds here. But look, this is why we started a podcast.
Okay,
we love
so
we
as
love
soon
this
as
stuff.
as soon as Melvin Gordon signs, and let's say it's a day before the season, you guys
That's
are
not
going
gonna be
to
that.
be so elated. My phone is going to blow up because you're going to be like, dude, we just have
and
we have
how
the best team
and
now.
listen to me. And how long or how many weeks going into the 8 weeks that he sits out are you going to be like, it's okay, guys, he's coming back. Don't worry, guys. I
All
know
the
it.
way up
I know he's
until
coming
week
back.
8, dude. All the way up until
Exactly.
week 8. We got
Exactly.
him in the 4th round. What?
Look, I love the value if we didn't have to rely on him as an RB2 right now.
We are fine.
So,
you
listen,
know how easy
we're
it
gonna
is
be
to
fine.
find an RB2
Listen,
in a
I
PPR
agree.
league.
It's a half
Simple.
point PPR.
Yes,
So once again,
simple.
I'll remind you, it is not a
Half
PPR
as
league.
easy.
Exactly.
Anyways, we're fighting through it. We're doing well. We're having tension's always good.
All right.
Can we talk about some of these last picks?
I wanna
Yeah.
talk some
Jesus.
of these picks through. So we had Zach Ertz go after our glorious Melvin Gordon pick. Travis was interested in Zach Ertz, so which I'm okay with taking Zach Ertz there. I was intrigued. It
Oh,
did
you
wet
didn't
my
give me
beak.
any feedback.
DJ Moore, I know that's your boy Travis. I know that you like
love
DJ Moore
DJ.
a lot. Mark Ingram. After that, Philip Lindsay, who I'm also kind of rising on Philip Lindsay a little bit here after watching some of these preseason games. I don't know if that split is going to be so much heavily more on Freeman. I think that they do like Lindsay. Watching his workload, we'll see. We'll continue this. Week 3 will be a big indication on how that workload could look and split up. Tyler Boyd, after that, like Tyler Boyd a lot. Pairing with Amari Cooper, I think that's a good move there. I think you're pairing a solid wide receiver with a guy who's going to have a lot of ups and downs. Robert Woods, right after that. Anyone want to take? We like that move, or
I
Yeah.
love
that-
Robert Woods. I think his snap percentage in this offense, his ability to play every role in this offense for that team. He has a little bit of the touchdown down upside, has a lot of the possession receiver skills. And I think for me, I like Woods and what he's able to do. He's definitely a guy when you're in the 4th and 5th rounds, you need to be grabbing because the value's there in that Rams offense. So I proposed a few names to you guys
Yep,
in our
I like
private
the number
chat.
1, and that's who I had in mind. So if we
If we
get
can
him,
snag that.
if we get that fantasy player,
You know, I'm always just sort of amazed at how many receivers from the Rams offense go in these rounds, though.
boom.
You have
Yes.
Yes,
Let's
and
go.
like, that's the thing we talk about all the time, right, Chelsea, is that when you have these elite offenses, you're going to want to stack a lot of these players. And so somebody from football guys, Sigmund Bloom, talked about offenses like pieces on a Monopoly board. Which offenses are the Park Place and the Boardwalk that you're trying to get, and stack together? And I think Kansas City is an offense like that. The Rams are an offense like that. And you look at some of these teams like the Browns now become an offense like that, where you're going to see 3-4 guys drafted from this team because, they run a lot of plays and they're really explosive.
Meanwhile, Miami Dolphins receivers could just
Yeah, until the last round. Yeah. even with Devontae Parker hype. So we are going to be able to get the guy that was on top of our list here to kind of ensure our upside down strategy here and to buy us time, hopefully, in case Melvin Gordon's holdout is extended. And that guy is Tevin Coleman.
And you guys were
So-
worried. Come on.
Here we go.
now.
This guy.
This guy, unreal. Tevin Coleman, I love this guy. He should be the featured back in this backfield, like Matt Breida as well.
Well, I mean,
but
if Jimmy Garoppolo's throwing 5 picks a game, it's not going to matter. But I do like it. Here's
don't think
what
that's gonna
happened.
happen.
Here's what happened
you
last
don't really
year.
think that's gonna happen.
No, I don't. Last year, the San Francisco 49er running backs combined for nearly 1,800 yards. They averaged 4.9 yards per carry as a group. We've talked about how Kyle Shanahan consistently puts out a running back 15 or better in his offenses. I'm really excited about Tevin Coleman, a guy. I know he handpicked Jerick McKinnon, but McKinnon can't stay healthy. I know Breida had a good year last year, but also was not healthy 100% of the time. He just played through injury. That doesn't seem sustainable to me. Coleman comes in as a guy who's been durable and a guy who knows the offense. I love Coleman. I love his upside. Plus the value's there in the 5th round.
Sure. Oh, and now we see a second quarterback off the board.
All right. So, yeah, Deshaun Watson was our second quarterback, not Aaron Rodgers, we've seen Luck fall. So Deshaun Watson, I'm okay with that. I think Deshaun Watson has number 1 upside. I'm not okay with maybe taking him right here. Just as a part of a strategy to not draft quarterback that early, but I understand the temptation.
Then OJ Howard, that one's we like OJ Howard a lot. When they had their preseason game this past weekend, it was for all the guys. You know what? One thing that we're not hearing. Where are all the Godwin supporters? I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Godwin will be a solid wide receiver this year, but the dude got 0 looks, 0 targets when O.J. Howard and Mike Evans were on that field. Those guys are going to feast. O.J. Howard is going to be so good this year, and I stand by it. We will be talking about O.J. Howard as part of that big 3 next year when we're drafting. It will be conversation of Travis Kelce, George Kittle, and O.J. Howard. Heard it here from Johnny Game Time Hicks's mouth.
Which just continuously runs, so you can hear a lot of things.
We got to fill up time somehow. They can't just listen to static air. We're live, baby.
All right, so we saw Deshaun Watson, O.J. Howard, Johnny's rant, then Tariq Cohen, and now we're sitting here. We're going to be wrapping around, guys. What are we thinking here? Do we think we continue to stack running backs, or could we be looking somewhere else? Do we want to go to the private chat here? Miles Sanders off the board. I feel like someone like Lisa had to take Miles Sanders here. She wasn't going to get him. I know it's early in the 6th, but she's at the turn. I understand, why she took him there. Definitely a guy I was looking at. So Aaron Rodgers comes off the board for Nate Frankel.
I wonder as our pick approaches, are we looking at handcuffing Melvin Gordon?
Yes, but probably not here.
Yeah, I think we can wait till like the.
And I know who you're thinking about. Yeah, I know who you're thinking about, but I don't know if it's wise to get that guy. This is so hard. This is so hard to do. All right, well, if they're watching, they're watching. Whatever. I just think that Eckler is probably not the better choice for us, and we could end up waiting and getting somebody else.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about taking? Who has this pick? Should we just say it? Should we just talk about it out loud? We're 1 pick before.
Sure.
What do you guys think about taking Hunter Henry right here? And really,
I don't like that.
Wow. I do not like that.
That sounds hideous, huh?
Did you change your stance on Hunter Henry?
I do.
Are you changing it right now or what?
I like his value right here with our team. I think it makes. There are guys that I think if we wait, that's fine.
Yeah. Here's the thing. We missed the boat on O.J. Howard, who was the last guy for me.
Yeah.
That I would have been willing to take, and I think now it's time to just kind of punt tight end till later.
Okay.
and keep stacking
enough.
some value, in my opinion. Unless anybody else can make a strong case right now for why we would take a guy that we have consistently faded this entire offseason. Okay.
I think that he's going to be good. You're saying he's not going to be a top 6 tight end or top 7?
I'm just.
Or
Do we
top
want to
8?
like? Can you bring up your draft profile video on him? He was a firm do not draft for you.
At his
So,
draft
like-
spot, he was getting into the 4th and 5th round when I told you not to draft him. I'm fine taking him here midway through the 6th because I think that he is going to be a top 8 tight end. Now, do I have confidence in some of the later tight ends? I do. But
Can he be a top 3 tight end?
that is a range of outcomes, yes. If Keenan Allen is hurt and Melvin Gordon,
Yeah,
but I
if
get
that's
that
like
we
a
have
lot of
Melvin
ifs, not right
Gordon.
now. Yeah, I don't really love it
Okay, that's
personally.
fine.
What do you think then, Travis? It's our pick. Seconds left.
I think there's a guy here I mentioned in the private chat in Lamar Miller that I think we should look at taking here.
No, why would we take him?
I think we need to keep stacking running backs. I think we went upside down. Other spots are secure. I really don't want to take a tight end here. I think you're in love with the idea of
Robbie
Hunter Henry.
Anderson, taking Robbie Anderson here.
Yeah,
Christian
you're going to
Kirk.
trust the Jets offense right here.
Yeah, I don't love Robbie Anderson enough to think he has more value over one of these potential running backs.
I think there's so
We have
many wide
flex
receivers I'm looking at that we're
positions.
going to be able to
What's
get
the
in
upside?
7th and 8th.
What's the upside of Lamar Miller? Lamar Miller,
A
doesn't
guy
help
that
our
we
team.
can start in case Coleman has a slow start or is hurt and Melvin Gordon's still holding out.
And
a
let's
guy
remember,
we can start
it's
at
two
RB2.
flex.
Yeah.
All right.
Huh?
He
Two
has
flex.
0 upside, but okay.
Yeah, of course he has 0 upside. But this is what we've done when we go wide receiver. Our upside's at wide receiver, carry on, and Melvin. This is the last volume starting running back here that I'm looking at. I mean, unless you could pick another guy out and tell me that you can
Make the
wait
case
on
for
him.
Robbie Anderson.
No,
We're taking
you
Lamar
guys
Miller.
You take Lamar
We're
Miller.
taking Lamar Miller.
All right, it's done.
All right, so now I feel like we've done enough, in my opinion. Doesn't mean we can't go running back the next round, but I feel like now we've done enough to start looking at the other skill positions and seeing if we get some of the guys that we like here.
All right.
So Baker Mayfield comes off the board. Johnny, are you okay with Baker Mayfield going in the 6th round?
Yeah, I'm fine with Baker in the 6th. I think that's an extreme value there. I think that he has, number 1 upside, and if you're getting him midway through the 6th, I think that's great. I would rather wait on quarterback even longer, but if I'm going to take a quarterback, taking a quarterback in the 6th and Baker is fine. Latavius Murray, like his upside, that's a great pick there. Would rather have him than Lamar Miller.
Then why didn't you
Right.
suggest that? Just wondering why
'Cause you
you
wouldn't let me
suggested Hunter
talk.
Henry for a minute and a half.
Because you wouldn't let me talk.
Fantastic. Okay. Everything's good. Hindsight.
So then we have Hunter Henry after that to pair with Patrick Mahomes. He's got Mark Ingram, Todd Gurley, Godwin, and Devontae Adams. Pretty solid balance.
Chelsea, are you seeing, or Chelsea or Johnny, are you guys seeing a team that you guys like the most right now?
I mean, Lisa's is super exciting. And then she just gave me that heartthrob pick at the end with Miles Sanders. I love me some Eagles running backs.
Which is not a narrative you hear a lot from a lot of people. You're getting a lot of shade in the fantasy world for liking Miles Sanders because of Doug Peterson's history and all these things they want.
I'm not saying he's great for fantasy purposes, but it's like a heart pick. Like it's just nice to see him
Well,
on
I'm
a
saying he's
roster,
gonna
and she
be great.
already had a good team. No, you could totally be right. And it's another thing.
Yeah.
Lisa's team's great. Johnny, do you have a team you're in love with?
I do like
Other than
Lisa's-
our own.
I do like Lisa's team a lot. I think that's a good team. I'm trying to scan through these other teams quickly. It's hard to tell because there's so many trades, so you have to
It's true.
I think if
honestly
you go to
skipped over those.
if you go to the
So
rosters,
Josh Gordon comes off the board in the 6th round. That's
Our chat was sort of going nuts about it, asking who was going to be brave enough to take him.
I love that pick. Maybe not in the 6th. There's a lot of risk to that. I think there's a lot of other players right now that I would take over him just because they're more certain. But certainly the upside for Josh Gordon in the 6th is there for sure. He looks to be targeted heavily. He's got the rapport with Tom Brady. We saw what the stats were like. On a year where he got traded to the team, had to get acclimated to the Patriots way. There was a lot going on, and yet he was still able to ball out while he was playing. So you give him more time and ability to learn that playbook even more and be mentored by Tom Brady. I think we could see Josh Gordon really pop off this year. Austin Eckler, our backup there, goes off the board at the end, near the end of the 6th. Then Alshon Jeffrey, followed by Kenyon Drake to start the 7th round.
I don't like how you say he's the backup. I really feel like Eckler is more of the change of pace guy in this offense. He's a guy they know they need on special teams. He's not really a backup. He's like the running back.
Right, I agree.
Okay.
I'm not disputing that. I'm saying he is the backup to.
It's kind of to Chelsea's point. She wanted to ask if we wanted to take Eckler last round.
It was sort of getting at your point though,
Yeah.
like knowing that he seems like he's the guy, but it's not actually the guy that's behind him. So
right.
Yeah. So, but in a half-point PPR, do like Eckler.
Totally.
Do like Eckler. All right. So after Eckler was Alshon Jeffrey, then Kenyon Drake. Well, we talk about Kenyon Drake quite a bit. That's Johnny's boy. Any news on Kenyon Drake's boot, Johnny?
No, they think that he'll be. The head coach is saying he'll be ready for week 1. That's the hope. So we'll have to see. I'm certainly not confident starting in week 1, but I'm confident that by the end of the year, the best running back for the Dolphins is going to be Kenyon Drake, and it's not going to be close.
Especially in half-point PPR, you got to be liking Kenyon Drake over Kalen Ballage, as Kenyon Drake has always done a lot of his damage as the pass catcher, as the elite pass catcher there. So let's see what's going on here. We got Darius Geis off the board here, one of our riskiest picks. If you go to thefantasywhispers.com, grab our draft kit, only $10. What a value. You can see there we have the risk assessor where we assign a risk rating to every player. And Johnny, Darius Geis is one of our riskiest players.
Yeah, I am staying away from him. He is literally on my new do not draft board. Like, I don't think I would take him if he was even there in the 10th. I don't think I would take him. Everything has been pointing to very, very scary. They still have Adrian Peterson there. They still have Chris Thompson. So I'm really, really hesitant on ever drafting Darius Geis just because the concerns are there. And I don't think the upside is quite there as well. Like, what do we see as the upside for Darius Geis coming off a surgically repaired knee? Like, this isn't Adrian Peterson. Like, this guy has had troubles. It's not been smooth sailing. So it's like, what's the upside that he's possibly an RB2? Maybe. It's like,
I love that take, right? Because Adrian Peterson is still there. So even if Geis comes back healthy, you're going to have to deal with that volume impediment. And then as well with Chris Thompson, who is there and now has consistently, been a threat when on the field. Right. So, Geis is a little risky for me, but Dawson Mizell taking the chance on him. Then after that, Lindsey snags Rashad Penny to pair with Philip Lindsay and Ezekiel Elliott. Philip Lindsay, I believe Lindsay drafted because last name is maybe. And it's spelled the same.
She's got a really high upside team. Like, they have high upside, but there's also a low floor there. Like, a dangerous low floor. like honestly, it's like
like they could score 0.
No, like Ezekiel Elliott, he could not play for a little bit. Keenan Allen, he's injured right now. He has tended to miss games. T.Y. Hilton, known to miss games, also missing Andrew Luck right now. Philip Lindsay could heavily regress. Tyler Lockett should regress theoretically based on numbers. Jared Cook, toss-up, and then Rashad Penny based on the news that Carson is probably going to be the lead guy there. That has a low floor, man. I'm sorry. I love Lindsay, but she also has a high ceiling. She has a high ceiling, too, because Zeke, I do have Zeke, the #1 running back. You know, Keenan Allen, I do have as a top 12 wide receiver. T.Y. is like my wide receiver 7. Philip Lindsay is an RB2 for me. And Tyler Lockett.
I am so happy this just happened because we would have been out Lamar Miller and had Robbie Anderson, and now we can have both.
Oh my God, Johnny.
Hold on.
So
let
Johnny,
me check to see
would you like Robbie Anderson now?
He's gonna be
whole
like, no,
full
there's
round
somebody
later?
else better than
Would you like him?
No.
Because we can have him, brother.
He can be yours
Well, let's see what
at
else
that
we
cool 7th round value.
Oh man,
Oh, slide.
Hold on.
dude, I used to love slip and slides. Remember, then you could get like the ghetto slip and slides where you just had a hose and like a black tarp and some soap.
Oh yeah,
That's how
used to
we
do
got
that.
down.
Yeah, that's the one
We
that
set those up on the beach, just like going
Oh,
down into
what?
the ocean with a big pool water pump that would pump water up from the ocean down the slip and slide
I literally can't get in to see the players
Next
now.
level.
Robbie Anderson, Matt Ryan, Will Fuller, Carson Wentz, Vance
Yeah,
McDonald,
I cannot
Curtis
believe that
Samuel,
you're sitting here not deciding to
Drew
pick Robbie
Brees,
Anderson.
Andrew
Oh, now
Luck,
I got
Daryl
it.
Henderson. Talk about slip and slides.
I finally got in there. So now.
I love it. We're gonna slip and slide into another pick here. Look, I'm okay with Robbie Anderson. I'm also okay with Will
Ooh,
Fuller.
All right. I would rather go because of the 80 viewer Curtis Samuel. I think that's where we should go. Curtis Samuel has tremendous upside.
He does. No, he does. I don't think he has a ceiling like that Robbie Anderson
And, like,
has. I have
you-
to disagree with you.
I totally agree.
Like he's
All right, go
competing
ahead.
with DJ Moore. Who is Robbie Anderson competing with?
Go ahead,
I don't
take it.
understand the logic of how a guy that you wanted in the 6th round falls to you in the 7th and then you don't get him. You pass for somebody.
I'm
What?
taking Robbie Anderson. I'm sorry. We were running out of time. I just didn't get what you were doing there.
I'm always. You have to be like water. You have to be constantly evaluating stuff. I like Robbie Anderson. I like him a lot. I also really like Curtis Samuel, and that guy has been tearing it up in camp. Say what you will about DJ Moore. I know you love DJ Moore, but Curtis Samuel has been the one that they've been talking about the most. All the beat writers saying Curtis Samuel has not only had one of the best training camps for the Carolina Panthers, but also like in the entire NFL. So Curtis Samuel is becoming the guy because he's more valuable because you can get him later. That's all I'm saying. Robbie Anderson, I like his upside. Don't get me wrong. I've been on his bandwagon. I'm taking him in mock drafts. But when you evaluate different things, I just don't
Whose
want-
upside's higher?
I think that Curtis Samuel because he has a better quarterback.
I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, I understand.
You
I
don't think Cam
understand.
is better than
Is that what I said? No, I
Yeah.
said I don't agree that he has higher upside. I feel like you're just trying to put words in my mouth now because you're getting all flustered because you wanted the guy and we got him around later. So that's fine. I understand your logic. My concern is that unlike Samuel, who is, say what you want, he is competing with DJ Moore for looks as a #1 in his offense. He is competing with him. And you can say what you want, but that is a fact based on the metrics that we saw last year out of DJ Moore, who was better in yards per route run. So he is a guy that I think they're going to lean on a lot in that offense. And I think with a guy like Robbie Anderson, who doesn't have anybody he's probably competing with for the #1 spot as the #1 target.
Enunwa.
Okay. Really, though?
I mean, I'm just
Like,
saying that those guys are all closer.
I don't
than-
know how I'm talking Johnny into the pick he wanted a round ago. I really don't get this at all. This is like
you have to be like water.
it's like Inception. Like, yeah, like I'm drowning right now trying to talk. I'm drowning in water right now trying to talk to Johnny about his picks here.
I'm trying to pull up my personal rankings, but I won't be able to do that.
Your personal rankings can be found for purchase on Patreon. Head on over to the Fantasy Whisperers Patreon account. Make a donation and access Johnny's personal ranking.
It's true. Well, actually, they're personally on the website. So, but go to Patreon anyways because We've got some other cool stuff there too. Look, I maybe I'm a little biased because I believe in DJ more than Samuel, and I'm not going to buy into a bunch of hype from Samuel. I love that it's driving down Moore's price. I think Moore is going to be the guy that's better fit for this offense, what they want to do, how they want to appease Cam Newton. And I think Samuel ends up being the deep threat guy for them. And he's going to have big weeks. But I really like what Adam Gase has done with his wide receivers, what they're talking about doing with Robbie Anderson. And I really like Robbie Anderson's skill set, especially paired with that big arm of Sam Darnold.
So there.
But neither here nor there because we took Robbie Anderson. We got Will Fuller off the board after that. Another guy, I think, with the Kiki Cutie injury. Good guy with really good upside right there. Darrell Henderson, then Dede Westbrook, Sammy Watkins, followed by Curtis Samuel, Kalen Ballage, Johnny's second favorite player in the NFL, right behind Ito Smith. And then we're waiting on MP Bowling here.
And we're 2 picks away again. What are we thinking here in the 8th round, guys? Is it quarterback hunting time? Is it what do we do?
Johnny, are you there?
Yeah.
Did you have anything?
Not in spirit anymore. His spirit has departed us.
Yeah, jeez.
No, I'm
Dead air
looking at
here.
Where I have Curtis Samuel ranked as my 21st wide receiver, and I have Robbie Anderson as my 28th. That's what I was looking up. So that's why I always reevaluate things, because I've got a lot of information going on in my head. So when I initially see something, I go for it, but I wanted to look something up, and I reevaluated on my step. So you
Johnny,
guys can take whoever you want to take here, because
we got a minute and a half, buddy. We want to talk about who we're picking next here. Let's not get off the rails completely. Can you see the players that are available?
No. So just take who you would like, and that's fine with me.
All right. So we're going to look at, we could go quarterback here. But
I
I
like
feel
some of these
like
quarterbacks here, but what do you think?
I feel like we could probably wait and get another one of these guys later too. So we got a minute left here. I think we could look back at running back even. There's a few guys here as well. And we might just pivot back to wide receiver. So a couple guys that are interesting to me here. Marvin Jones, Larry Fitzgerald, Sterling Shepard. So I think Larry's a guy that's being underrated in that Arizona offense. I think
agreed,
Sterling,
especially in PPR. I know.
And then Sterling Shepard's another guy too that's kind of underrated in half PPR as well.
Agreed. Well, I'm an Arizona fan. I would say Larry over.
Go with Larry?
Yep, for sure.
All right, that offense has upside, so let's go with Larry Fitzgerald here.
Yeah, and it's going to be so fun watching Kyler Murray sling balls to Fitzgerald.
Yeah, like the youngest going to the oldest, change of the guard. I love it.
How multi-generational can we be?
Yeah. Yep. All right. So we picked Larry Fitzgerald there. Johnny, how do you feel about waiting on quarterback there?
That's fine. I mean, I've been taking quarterback super, super late, so I'm fine with that strategy. Because if we are not going to get, I think that we can definitely wait and just stack more skill positions here.
Right on. So then Eric Ebron off the board here to go with the rest of Salcedo 99's team. So he has David Johnson, Damian Williams, Julian Edelman, Zach Ertz, Calvin Ridley, Baker Mayfield, Christian Kirk, Eric Ebron. Some significant upside on this team. However, I'm not in love with what he's done at wide receiver, but that's kind of the price maybe that he's paid by taking Zach Ertz and Baker where he took them. And I don't know why he's taking another tight end here either.
I mean, I think that's maybe one of the traps of the double flex, right? It gives you another opportunity to play a tight end, and if he thinks Eric Ebron has that upside, well, then so be it.
That's another point that I did want to make about the double flex, right? So we stacked a ton of these running backs here. Glad we did that now, looking back at the double flex scenario, because, Lamar Miller, not huge upside, but is going to be a guy that's going to be a double flex possibility in those weeks where we could be waiting on Melvin Gordon And then Robbie Anderson as well, a guy that you could probably plug into one of your flexes that could win you each week. And I think another reason why waiting on quarterback is important here.
Yeah, I think that's one of the major reasons why in a double flex league specifically you should wait on quarterback, because you want to try to take as many stabs at the best quality of guys that you can in order to build the best team. And we already know what the quality of the guys are at the quarterback position, even deep, even, guys that are 17, 18, picks. I don't think that even the 18 people are going to, we've only had, 5 quarterbacks come off the board, 4 quarterbacks. So we're going to be able to get a very solid guy super, super late, because a lot of these people have been listening to us or, and demonstrating this through their own drafts of waiting on quarterback.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a tried and true way to do it, and even in a double flex league, it just becomes more paramount. If one of those flexes were capable of starting a quarterback, it'd be a different story, right? Then we'd reset the market a little bit. That is not the case here. All right, so after Eric Ebron came off the board, Corey Davis here in the 8th. Johnny, Corey Davis is a guy, you love his talent, right? But just not in love with the Tennessee situation there, right?
Right. I just think that Marcus Mariota is not a good quarterback, and the sooner that they realize that, the better off that whole entire team is, and especially Corey Davis. This guy had 28% market share. That's wide receiver 1 dominant. That's like what, OBJ gets. That's, a little bit less than Julio. That's, Juju. All these guys get that target market share. So I love getting that in Corey Davis. His quarterback needs to be a little bit more accurate. So maybe Mariota can surprise us all and becomes more accurate. And then I think Corey Davis is instantly, he's going to outdo his ADP. So he's been dropping in a lot of drafts, and I actually do like grabbing him in these 8th, 9th, 10th rounds, because let's remember, he was a top 9. I believe he was selected 9th overall by Tennessee like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So Corey Davis, really like his talent. It's there. He needs a quarterback.
Yeah, and I mean, any interest if Tannehill were to take over, do you like Corey Davis a whole lot more?
Yes, I do, because I think that Tannehill has the ability to, take a little bit more risks. He is also more accurate, and I think that he could target Corey Davis. It won't take him long to realize who his best wide receiver is there. A.J. Brown is a rookie. Don't expect much of there. Delaney,
I do like Adam Humphries to be a guy that's soaking up a lot of targets for them, especially for a guy like Tannehill, right?
Right.
Who tends to focus on the middle of the field.
And I do think that Humphries is a nice guy to, get way later in drafts. I don't mind him, but when you get around the end zone, it's going to be Derrick Henry or it's going to be the other big guy, and I think it's going to be Corey Davis.
All right, so we've seen after Corey Davis, Johnny, our first defense come off the board, auto-picked by A. Seha, who is getting roasted in the sleeper chat right now for that Bears pick.
Yeah, brutal.
Do love the Bears,
Yeah.
but wouldn't be taking them in the 8th. I mean, I don't love the Bears.
I'm hearing a lot of confusing stuff out of you.
I like the Bears defense in fantasy. I just don't like them in the 8th. Marvin Jones was the guy I was looking at there at Larry Fitzgerald's range, but just do think Larry's in a better offense that would be more suited towards some production, especially in half-point PPR. I mean, Larry Fitzgerald is usually guaranteed for around 100 catches a year. That's just how that guy operates.
Yeah.
So do love Marvin Jones, though. I think he's getting slept on in a lot of leagues by a lot of people here. Then Matt Ryan, Sterling Shepard, Drew Brees. So some of these QBs starting to creep off the board a little bit.
6 of 12 teams have a QB now.
So, but I'm feeling all right with some of our options that are going to be available. I do want to slide into your guys' DM here and talk about something here if you guys want to check it. Because I'm thinking of a guy.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I think Johnny.
Yeah.
That guy?
Yeah.
That guy.
I like that guy.
That guy.
Do you like that guy?
He should be available.
We're hoping.
We're hoping. We're praying. We're singing.
We're wishing. All right, so If we can get that guy, I will be feeling good about
Just
what we
in
put
case,
together.
what if we can't that guy?
Yeah.
You always have to have a backup plan.
Well,
with
that's what I
formation.
was going to ask you guys because we were talking.
You type in somebody else.
There is
Yeah, I'm
seriously
trying to see if you what do you
Ooh.
think?
there is nothing worse than you stepping up. You are the next person on the clock, and the person right before you takes the guy you were going to go after.
No.
There is something worse than that.
What is worse than
Stubbing your toe.
that? But it's just barely worse.
It's still the same amount of pain though. So not worse. Same amount.
Yes, so.
Equal.
But the pain of that stubbed toe doesn't last with you for 16 weeks.
It could if you stubbed it really good. You broke your toe.
All right.
What if you got sniped? And this has happened to us before. Johnny, you get sniped
We would be dead.
and that No, you get sniped and that guy actually does crappy. So this guy
oh yeah.
or this guy or girl
That's-
did you a favor.
Oh, like Secret Service.
Oh man,
Well,
that's
for
the-
you.
That is the greatest feeling ever.
Yeah.
Like
I
a couple of years ago, in our league of record, OBJ got sniped from me by our league mate Matt, who is also a writer for the Fantasy Whispers. You can check out his articles. at
No!
the Fest-
Oh,
yeah.
it's killing me here.
That auto pick.
Oh, the
I
auto
feared
pick
this.
just swiped us hard. Okay.
Wow. But yeah,
think we need
he
to
took,
reassess
he took
here.
OBJ, and that was the year OBJ got hurt, like week 4. So sometimes it's nice. Maybe that's the same thing here. I do not like this second pick that you had said.
Well, I mean that's why I'm asking for some other
Like I would rather
Suggest-
just wait. I would
wait.
rather
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm good with that too.
Then what's your
That's-
backup?
All right. So
Oh, and there we go.
whatever.
Yeah.
Johnny's right. I
Like
didn't feel good about suggesting Njoku. He wouldn't have been my top choice. Vance was my top choice there.
Yeah, I love
Um,
Vance McDonald.
How many?
Got Salcido on the clock.
Wentz is already gone.
Oh, he just
So-
went. God damn it. Gosh darn it. Vance McDonald, then David Njoku.
Okay, hear me out. Okay.
We're here to listen.
What are you
to.
thinking? What are you thinking first?
You want us to hear you out, or do you want us to tell you what we're thinking?
Well, I'm gonna see what you guys are thinking, and then
And then you want us to hear you out.
yeah.
All right.
And then we're thinking what we're thinking.
Well, I also
I have a
missed that
guy.
Lindsay picked up Wentz, and so I'm a little crushed.
Well, I think we can get a guy here that may just fill that Philly hole in your heart.
Oh my gosh, are you serious right now?
Why? What's wrong with that?
Okay, I'm okay. Wait,
What?
let me hold on. Let me check something. Let me check my rankings.
Johnny's gone radio silent again for another half hour. He's got to check his personal rankings again.
Well, because I had a
Uh,
guy in mind, and then I. Okay.
That's just what I'm thinking. Like,
Okay.
I don't
so-
know.
Well, okay. I have a guy. I have a guy that I'm thinking.
Ooh,
too.
what's
I'm just-
Salcido gonna do?
or
Or oh, you would suggest that guy. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
the first one.
Yeah.
All right, I'm good with that.
Don't
I
get
think.
that.
All right, so I think we
just
waited.
didn't want to mention it because I didn't want you guys going another injured player.
Oh,
And
we wouldn't have
so-
said that. See, you're coming in paranoid, Johnny. You gotta be free here. Be like
Yeah,
water,
be
dude.
like water, or maybe be more like gas. It's like
Whoa.
floaty. and-
Whoa! No one
what kind
wants
of
gas
what kind of
around
gas?
here. Well,
oh
we-
yeah, fill the area.
Chelsea with the gas in our area.
Well, we did have
Take up some
tacos. so-
space.
okay, so are we doing that?
Yeah, I think we're doing that.
Yeah, let's do it. I think here's the deal. We've waited long enough on QB. It's time to pull the trigger. And why not take a guy
We have
who has consistently shown top 3 upside at the QB position? understand he's
to our
banged
team.
up, but you can stream this position. And it's not every day you got a guy sitting in the 9th round that has consistently been the top 5.
I
It just
love-
came off.
QB3 for
Just
me.
came off QB 3 year, or was he last year? QB 4.
He was top. Well, he's top. All that matters is this
Either way,
year-
he threw
this future.
He threw
is-
39 touchdowns last
he's
year,
my-
and we're getting him in the 9th round.
He's my QB3. So behind. So we got our QB3 in the 9th round. Almost.
Yeah,
late.
buddy.
Almost late.
I just like that we picked him and said, and remember, you can always stream QBs. So how much confidence do you really have in a guy when that's the second thing you say after?
Well, because here's the
But-
deal. He is banged up. We get it. We get that he's banged up. There's a reason why he's going in the 9th. We also have heard that it's maybe a pain management deal, and then maybe he's just going to power through it. So, look, I love Luck's upside. I think it's legit. That offense was elite last year, and I'm loving it.
Into it. Picks are just flying off the board.
They really. Or we're just.
Tony Pollard came off after us. Then Russell Wilson, Ronald Jones, Kyler Murray. We started a mini quarterback run there. Greg Zuerlein, Anthony Miller, James Washington, Jay Blay back up on the clock here. He got Tony Pollard, but he's not a guy who has Ezekiel Elliott. He's believing
looking for
hard.
trades. He's already trying to trade. He's been trading all day. He wants to
This
trade
is
some
true.
more. He wants to trade with Lindsey. It's like, hey, Lindsey, I got your backup running back.
No. Sniped again by Jay Blay here.
Wow.
Wow.
Unreal. You think you know a guy.
You train these people up, you show them what's going on, and then they steal it right from you. We knew it
Right.
was happening, guys. We knew it was happening.
Okay.
That's all right. Got to be like water. Let's see what happens here.
Okay, so
So
I'm
the-
thinking, okay, I know that you like. I know which one you like. You like. Well, we can just say it, right? Or do you think?
Yeah.
We,
Yeah, we can just
Yeah,
say
we
it.
can just
It's
say it.
our
Whatever.
Okay,
thing.
so
Speak clean.
so Deshaun Jackson. I know that you want Deshaun Jackson here. You're interested in, but I'm also interested in either Duke Johnson, or to back up the Lamar Miller pick, or getting Matt Breida.
I would tell you who I would prefer here and why. And I think Matt Breida is the person I would prefer because the upside for me is way greater than Duke Johnson, who I do not think is going to be a 3-down back no matter how they slice it,
Okay.
no matter what happens to Lamar Miller. I just don't think he's meant for that. Whereas I think Breida has pass catching skills. So I'm okay with taking Breida here. I just want to take a look at the landscape at wide receiver. Chelsea, are you seeing anything that jumps off?
I did like the Matt Breida assessment. I think that's the right way to go in this case. There's always going to be for guys that you think are going to have side. But my question always comes back down to how do you make sure that you have a lockdown backfield, that you secure the positions that you've already invested in? Because otherwise you're throwing out 2 picks potentially. And I don't think that's worth it. So I say we lock down San Francisco backfield and pick Breida here.
So Breida is the pick. We're just going to pivot from locking up Los Angeles's backfield
Yeah,
and lock up San Francisco's.
I like that.
I think that's a smart
really
move.
wanted Justin.
So Blay
Yeah.
kind of talked about his strategy here. He said he took Tony Pollard and Justin Jackson back to back. Says got to take those cuffs of the guys holding out. So he's really banking in these holdout guys. It's a smart strategy. Look, you could have ended up with James Conner last year in the Le'Veon Bell scenario. A little bit different than the running backs that are happening right now. But this is around the round that James Conner was going in last year. And James Conner was an elite running back for people and leading people to the promised land in a lot of leagues.
The only issue is that he's got like all running backs. He's got like he doesn't need them. Not to say like you never draft for like.
Well, no, those
but-
aren't all his though. Too. Remember, he's
Oh,
got
that's
some
right.
trades in there.
Okay, that's what I keep.
So his
confusing.
other running back. So Joe Mixon, Le'Veon Bell, Sony Michelle. He also has Royce Freeman. And then so he was taking those
Okay.
guys
All
as
right,
handcuffs.
I get. For a second there, I kept just reading down the thing, and I'm like, you would never start him over any of those other running backs up there, but
What I did find out in this draft is that you and I may have to make a whisper wager on DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel.
That's for sure. It's a great
So-
idea.
Fine with I mean, I have. It's not like I have. I have. I have DJ Moore as my wide receiver 11. I have. Curtis Samuel as my wide receiver 21.
So why
So-
do you hate Curtis Samuel?
So it has nothing to do with the fact that I hate DJ Moore. I love DJ Moore. I think he's a great wide receiver. But where we were getting him,
I think that's built in your rankings there, though. What you kind of pointed out there, what's built right in there is the fact that DJ Moore directly affects Curtis Samuel's ceiling. I think he just directly does. And I think, I think you and I both agree that the Panthers are an offense that can take a step forward, though, this year. If Cam is fully healthy, they were on their way to being a really good offense last year. You have both of those guys really progressing as wide receivers. Christian McCaffrey, a healthy Greg Olsen, you got to love what the Panthers shape up to be, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But tell me, these don't seem about what Robbie Anderson could finish. 124 targets, 66 receptions for 1,022 yards, and 5.3 touchdowns. That seems super logical to me.
Yeah, but I also think that his upside is top 15.
Okay.
Where I don't know that I buy Samuel's upside is locked in at top 15. I think it's more like it's 15 to 20, 25, 15 to 25 range for me for Samuel. But that's just a preference. I mean, look, that's why we got into this, man. We love going back and forth on these for sure. So after we picked Matt Breida, went Jared Goff, Cortland Sutton, then LaShawn McCoy. LaShawn McCoy here for the auto drafting A. Seha, who took my Vance McDonald pick right from me. Was really hoping to bring that home for us, folks.
Sorry. Sad.
Nothing to see here, folks.
All right, Chelsea. We've got a few more picks. Well, we've got a wraparound here before we're up.
A good old wraparound.
The old wraparound, the wraparound. And then so Deshaun Jackson comes off the board, guy we were looking at last round for sure. Love his upside, but we do have a similar situation with Robbie Anderson, so we may want to go more high floor wide receivers, given that our other two wide receivers are elite.
That's fun for Lindsay, though. She's from Pennsylvania. She's got Carson Wentz, Phillies quarterback, and throwing to Deshaun Jackson, who's back with the Eagles this year, which is really exciting. So that should be something fun to watch. Personally jealous of that combo.
Yeah, do love Wentz this year.
Love Wentz.
Deshaun Jackson, then Cam Newton. We were just talking about that Carolina Panthers offense. Delanie Walker was a guy I was looking at, Johnny. I wanted your opinion on a little bit earlier. Was Delanie Walker, who did see some nice. He saw a touchdown in the preseason there from Mariota.
Yeah,
and
I'm not interested.
No interest in Delanie Walker at all.
I'd rather watch butter melt in the hot Arizona sun than watch.
Wow.
I
watch
didn't even
Delanie
know that was a
Walker.
thing.
Yeah, I just made it up.
I
And
suppose I like to watch buttermelt when you're like melting it to
for
put it on like.
popcorn.
Yeah.
Dude,
That
Yeah.
was like sort of poetic. The
Yeah.
description. I don't know. It was really visuals.
Chelsea is like really stuck on the melted butter.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good team name.
melted butter.
All right,
Hey,
so-
hey, that could be our team name, melted butter.
I think we could come up with better than that, but
Yeah, I hope that's not what our team is.
yeah, we don't want melted butter. It's not very solid. N'Keal Harry came off the board, then Jalen Samuels, Phillip Rivers, followed by the Rams defense and Lindsey Daylo. Taking Adrian Peterson, solid pick here in the 11th round. Oh,
Ooh, I like that one.
I have an idea that I'm going to shoot over to you guys. Chelsea,
Sell it to us.
when you're in these last few rounds, what's kind of your favorite positions to go by?
I mean,
Do you
I think
swing for the fences, or are you stacking like solid depth where it's just the consistent floor players? What's usually
I
your
think
typical stuff?
you swing for the fences when you can. Look, we got 5 picks left. We know we need to consider at least a defense kicker situation. I'm also okay with not grabbing those positions in this draft, so we'll see what we end up doing. Seeing who's available to swing for the fence. You also, always want to try to lock down your backfields if you haven't already done so, and then see if there's any candidates that could potentially become breakouts, especially in the running back position. Just scanning around, seeing if there's any of that hidden value here. But I've got an eye for late round wide receivers, so you bet that's what I'm spending my time doing right now.
Nice. Digging for those late wide receivers. And that's the thing, right? Wide receiver, very deep. Running back, not so deep. What you're doing now in these rounds tends to be either some handcuffing situations or situations where you need a long list of things to happen for that guy to really give you value at the running back position. Whereas wide receivers are sitting here and you're saying, well, there's actually some potential for them to pop here. I did shoot you guys a DM here about some of the situations I'm looking at. Let me know. But after Adrian Peterson is going to be A. Seha's computer pick, which I don't just going to understand why he's not on auto draft.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Jameis, I thought it should just set. Oh. All right, so we could do that. But do we have to do that here?
I think we can wait. Let's wait.
You don't want any, like, I want 2. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, you want 2 of them?
Yeah. So what combo of those 4 guys is what I'm trying to get at. All right. So I'm okay looking at wide receiver here, Chelsea. Once we get Salcedo's pick in, if you're good with taking another wide receiver, it's been a couple rounds since we have.
Let's do it.
Chelsea, I want to know what you're thinking. Maybe not just yet, in case Salcedo's in the YouTube chat, but you got a couple guys, maybe. Yeah. Well, I thought I did, but Johnny wants us to wait on a certain situation, which is fine. Johnny, got any wide receivers or running backs here you're really eyeing? Flex players?
Let me check. Sorry, I'm trying to set up.
Actually, I got a guy, I think.
Yeah. I trust you guys.
Thinking. Yeah.
Night. Air is clear. Our pick.
I'm thinking Damian Harris here. I think the upside for Damian Harris is through the roof. I think if we snag him here, we could probably wait on wide receiver.
I'm into it. I had said that from the top of the draft. I didn't like Sony Michel, who you guys were wanting to pick up in our chat.
Ooh, she just throws jabs there.
Yeah, and I like the Damian Harris pickup late. Go.
I didn't want Sony Michel. You idiots did. We'll take Damian Harris here. You good with that, Johnny?
Yeah, Damian Harris is fine.
Boom. We got Damian Harris. Just another dart throw here in that New England backfield. Always good for running backs as far as if there is one guy doing the goal line work. And Harris has actually flashed some really good hands. And so that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like Damian Harris here as an upside pick. So I'm going to go back to this chat here and ask you guys what you think. And then Whisper Nation, I'm going to tell you that if you go over to the fantasywhispers.com and you download the draft kit there, you can get it for an unbelievably low price at $10. We're going to be putting out another big update this Friday where me and Johnny will spend multiple hours this week diving back into our rankings, tweaking everything for the final stretch run, and giving you that beautiful last update for these, for the 2019 season. So we're really excited about that. And if you get over to the fantasywhispers.com, not only is the draft kit there, but you get some beautiful swag, some t-shirts, some hats. You can sign up for our Patreon account right there. You could go to patreon.com, search the Fantasy Whispers, and we've got all sorts of bonus material that you guys can get a part of by heading on over there. All right. So after Damian Harris went Darwin Thompson, another guy that's interesting there. Jay Blay, man, really stacking up these upside handcuffs. Then Justice Hill, Devin Singletary, Chargers defense. And now we are about 5 picks away from our next pick here.
All right, let's see what we got.
Oh,
What?
Hmm.
What happened?
hold on. Just got to.
Technical difficulties here.
Live show, folks.
It wouldn't be a TFW live show if there wasn't some sort of technical difficulty happening.
That is the truth. I mean, that is how we live.
All right, so what we got? Still waiting on Lisa with her pick. She's got a great team. She's got a
Yeah,
really
why don't
good
you go
team.
through her team a little bit, Johnny?
So she took James Conner in the first round, last pick, and then Tyreek Hill, George Kittle. So she got 3 skilled positions, or 3 elites, as Travis likes to call it. And then followed that up with Marlon Mack, which we were definitely eyeing Marlon Mack there. So she's got a really, solid start, her foundation. Then she grabbed Tariq Cohen, followed by Miles Sanders, which Big Travie and Chelsea are very fond of. And then Sammy Watkins, followed by my boy Curtis Samuel. She must have been following on the show and saw how visually upset I was, so she decided to take pity on me and draft him. And then she must be really watching our show because she took Kyler Murray there in the 9th and took another guy that we're really fond of. And then she took Greg the Leg Zuerlein, best kicker in fantasy football, which feels very disgusting to say. And then she took the Los Angeles Chargers defense, very solid defense right there. And then Alexander Madison, guy who's been, doing really well in preseason. And a lot of people think that he could take the goal line work or possibly take some of the workload away from Dalvin Cook. Alexander Madison, great pick in the 12th round. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing from her.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt she's put together a strong team here. So after Madison went Devin Funchess, then Austin Hooper. Jay Blay taking Lamar Jackson as his first quarterback, I believe.
I like that
And
pick.
that is
That's
nice
very, very
upside.
good.
That's
Goes
listen, you
fitting
wait on
with that
quarterback.
running back heavy team there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I think
His team's
he's
got
got another
legs.
running back.
Yeah.
All right, so
He needs to do his team name as Team RB.
I'm thinking of this guy, which I put in the chat, Johnny, unless you can make a qualm for him or somebody else.
No, I think it's time to pick up a tight end. I was really excited about Austin Hooper sitting there, but he's gone.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's fine.
Unless
I think we'll take Jordan Reed here. I think somebody's got to catch the ball in Washington. Case Keenum. We saw what Rudolph was with Case Keenum a couple years ago. We saw this team just be depleted as far as what's going on. And Reed's had a very healthy camp. I know it's shocking for a guy who's been very injured, but he's had a healthy camp. So,
hey, if not now, when would he ever be healthy?
Yeah.
Never in his life has he been healthy. So
we're looking for, positive regression in that category.
Yeah, hopefully. That would be cool to see Jordan Reed get
Yeah.
right, especially if he's on our team.
Exactly.
And he is now.
All right, so our team's kind of shaping up here, guys. So let's run through it a little bit here. We went OBJ and Juju at the top. Went a little top heavy with wide receiver. Knew we were going to have to put some work in on the running back situation, which we did immediately. Kerryon Johnson, Melvin Gordon, who I think we all agree the upside here is tremendous. If they can just get a deal done over there in Los Angeles, we're going to be sitting with one of the better teams in this league. Maybe the best. Definitely the best. It's already the best right now. Went a little Donald Trump on everybody. That's all right. Tevin Coleman was after that. Lamar Miller. Listen, Lamar Miller's upside really not there, but he is a guy that can provide us some insurance if we need it. And then Tevin Coleman's a guy that we're excited about, could be a top 15 guy. Then we went into some wide receivers just to fortify our wide receiver depth. Robbie Anderson, Larry Fitzgerald. We had the little bit of the Robbie Anderson back and forth on that, but I'm excited with the way our wide receiving core shaped up after we made those picks. Also, Andrew Luck here in the 9th, one of my favorite picks in this draft by us so far. I really think Andrew Luck gets it right by the beginning of the season and is a guy that's sitting here as a top 5 QB, and we got him in the 9th round. We were able to stack a really good team together.
Yeah, that was...
Matt Breida, then Damian Harris, just a couple of guys. Look, fortify that San Francisco backfield, and then get Damian Harris, who is playing behind a guy with a degenerative knee. And so Damian Harris is a guy
You said
that
so charismatically.
he's got a degenerative knee. It's a fact.
I mean, it's a fact, and just a fact. You guys want to draft?
Oh man, we're not going to live that one down.
No, I'm just.
I
Gonna
think
be the
there's a-
conscience
I think
of
there's-
this
Sony.
league.
Well, here, I just want to make the case for Sony, okay? And the reason is, we saw LeGarrette Blount get 16 touchdowns in this offense. We understand that if the guy is running at the goal line for the Patriots, he's going to have huge touchdown upside. And so that is why Sony Michel is worth the upside there. They drafted him in the 2nd round just last year, or I'm sorry, the end of the 1st. Wait, right? 1st or 2nd. Either way, it was high in the draft. And then, obviously he's got the knee issue. They drafted Damian Harris. I get it. I do think
it was 1st round last year.
1st round.
Yeah.
And then I think Damian Harris is the guy that's insurance for Sony Michel, but that's the thing. He's insurance for him, and I think Sony Michel is the guy there. You're at least going to start fast.
I don't need to
Sure.
worry about a degenerative knee his 2nd year.
All right.
Maybe.
Maybe, actually. Maybe you do a little bit, but it's still worth it to me. I
All
like
right.
to gamble, baby.
Chelsea's probably
We're gambling.
right. That's why we pay her the big bucks. But
We can't say that on we just said that on. I don't like.
and then we take Jordan Reed with our 12th round pick, and I know it's not a very sexy pick, but I do think that Jordan Reed is a guy that has upside, and people don't believe it right now because he's had so many down years. But we got him in the 12th round. We didn't have to spend a whole bunch on him, and I think it's going to be easy to stream the position. Not easy, but here's the thing. If you don't get one of the top 3 elite guys, you're not going to get a lot of production regardless. So let's not go spend a bunch of picks trying to chase that, which is kind of why I wanted to steer away from the Hunter Henry pick earlier. I understand Johnny's logic. I understand that Henry fell in the draft, but Reed is a guy that I think, could end up having a similar season to Henry. Cleveland Browns, then Kyle Rudolph, DK Metcalf, Kiki Cutie, Carlos Hyde, Peyton Barber, TJ Hawkinson, and then Mecole Hardman. So we have somebody in the chat here. Dawson is in the chat but unable to draft. Something's going on with Sleeper in this auto pick. They've got him on auto pick, huh?
Oh.
That sucks. Sorry to hear that, Dawson. I don't know how to change it here either. Because we're live in this draft, so
Yeah.
I mean that's the thing. If you exited at one point, that would be why. But I don't know why you wouldn't be able to get back in. I do apologize. Maybe it's something to do with the connection or. Anyways, moving on. DK Metcalf.
Nothing to
Cutie.
see here, folks.
A
Carlos-
case for in-person drafts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
That is
We
true.
love the in-person drafts.
Kiki Cutie was a little banged up, but could come back in time to be beneficial for Lindsay here. Carlos
Be a
Hyde.
guy.
Peyton Barber, TJ Hawkinson, Mecole Hardman, Tyrell Williams, Justin Tucker, Ito Smith, and now A. Seha. It's really weird because
Yes.
Seha is auto picking, and so is Dawson, but Seha's take forever.
Hold
Just don't
us
know
up.
what's going on here.
So I got a guy I think that we should take here.
All right, why
If
don't
he
you
falls.
toss it on over to that
So
chat?
I like to let Whisper Nation know. Oh,
yeah, well,
I
we
do
can-
like the guy that you recommended.
We've been sniped like 3 times already.
Yeah, so I
not
like
trying to
your
get
guy.
sniped anymore.
I like the guy that you message over number 1, but if he gets
He's
taken, then how about this guy?
Oh yeah, I think we can actually get both.
I'm hoping we get both. That would be real nice.
Good.
I honestly think we may need to take your guy and then the other guy.
Yeah.
So let's just hope this goes the way we want. Although I think
This
Seha
is a-
here
Yeah.
may
This
take
is
him
a,
again
a
because this
computer.
is the auto pick, and that always happens to us. So,
We'll work through these with Whisper Nation.
if you guys are joining us here on the YouTube chat, we just
Yeah.
want to say thanks for stopping by. If you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button.
Yes.
Hit the notifications button. We've got all sorts of videos coming out, including one that just dropped, a player face-off video, Devonta Freeman versus Aaron Jones. We've got another one with Dalvin Cook and Joe Mixon. That one's going to be a great one, and we're going to have more of those coming as we get into the final weeks of drafts.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're a ton of fun. We also have another mock draft coming out here shortly. That's a 12-team half-point PPR. So if you enjoy what we're doing here, you like the back and forth, you love fantasy football, and how could you not? You need to follow and subscribe to us here on YouTube and across all social media platforms. You can find all the links to all of those on the fantasywhispers.com, as well as our 2019 draft kit, which was a lot of fun to make, a lot of hard work,
Yep.
but a lot of fun to make.
It was a good time. Got us
All right, so
prepared for the regular season and doing this stuff. So this is good.
Ito Smith comes off the board, Johnny's first favorite NFL player. Then Ben Roethlisberger. Dude,
I
we
hope
need
he
to make
gets
you a
cut.
shirt that's like an Ito Smith with the red circle and the line through it.
I hope he gets cut. Like,
Wow.
Wow. This
Yeah,
is a
just
guy
get him
just
off the
wishing
Can I not endorse
Just
that darkness?
wishing a player to lose his job. Johnny Hicks. Johnny,
He
the
can come
game
help
has
on-
reached a
hey, he
the
can come
game has
help
reached
on-
a new low.
We'll hire him. We'll hire him here at the Fantasy Whispers. We'll hire him.
Put him on social media.
Yeah. Tom Brady. Mr. Old
That's
Red
my-
Rivers.
My roommate Alex likes to call him TB42.
You drafted him as wide receiver, right?
Yeah. Yeah, what a great tweet, Brady. Brady's Twitter game's strong.
Strong.
He says he tweets a picture of him catching at practice and says his PPR stock just went up. Then immediately after tweets, no Super Bowl jokes. We're in the trust tree here.
Oh.
It's pretty good.
Nice.
All right, so here's the guy we wanted here. Boom, baby.
Boom,
Michael
done.
Gallup.
Yes. I love that.
Really
Yeah.
excited to get Gallup here. Yeah. Finally excited to have all three of us agree on a pick and be happy about it. Because that's not happened once here.
Yeah. It's been
Uh,
a
Look at that smile
You
on
think-
Game Time's face.
You think you know people.
Oh, and then right after Mark Andrews.
Oh, man.
Ah!
We probably
Yeah.
could have we probably could have gone Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
I blame
And that's the point. Had we scanned Jacob Blaze's lineup and noticed that he was absent at tight end, we could have guessed. Would have been.
Ah.
That is true,
Rookie
especially
mistake
when
we
he's a
made.
friend of the show.
Friend
Yep.
of the show.
Oh, I have my other guy though that I want here.
Oh, great.
So I'm gonna send this over. I think this could be fun.
Whatever. He's no Mark Andrews.
What do you mean,
but
what?
He can have a spot on our team, I guess.
He's
Ooh, Lisa grabbing Noah Fant, who is a little banged up right now.
Noah Fant catch.
Noah-
That's what he's gonna be doing this year.
Noah Fant catch. Is that what we're
Noah
calling
it?
Fant catch.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Oh, that was good.
That's a funny joke.
I even
It's like
wrote
a
it
play on
down.
His last
The
name.
sad part is
Boom.
Sad
Oh my
part is
gosh.
it's not a joke. He really sucks.
Oh my
I mean, don't get me wrong. His talent is there, but maybe he's 2 or 3
Johnny-
years down the
Johnny's
line.
saying that he could go out and play better tight end than Noah Fant right
Johnny should not be a coach of
now.
any
Right.
level.
You're cut.
I just don't get
You
him,
suck.
like, you
Get out of here.
That's how
corner.
I do it with my fantasy players. It's just got to be
You suck.
cold-hearted, just cold-blooded. All
He's
right.
a
Any
fool,
interest-
that's nice.
Here, guys, I'm throwing it out here. We've got the situation with Andrew Luck. Maybe doubling down just on another guy here at QB
Yeah.
in Mitch
Oh,
Trubisky.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
it.
Okay.
Love it. This
Give
is
me
what
that.
we talk
Give
about
me
being
Mitch.
fluid.
I
It's
like it.
it's just worth
Now
naming.
you're messing with a son of a bitch.
Nobody,
All right.
nobody knows
That didn't
song,
hit.
Not
but
approved.
it's provocative and it gets the people going.
Not approved.
It's not
Um,
approved. I just got
We just picked
just got
our
an email from the commissioner's office.
we just got our 14th pick, and it's just worth saying we don't have a tight end or a kicker or defense.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're punting
Once
that.
again,
Yeah.
we do this. This is the strategy. You got to live with it. EFW, you got to get with it.
This is the strat.
No
that
kicker,
you-
no defense. We'll pick it up right before week 1. We want to protect ourselves picking up a Mitch Trubisky in case something happens to Andrew Luck.
Right.
And we may be looking at another stash here at
Who's
the
this-
end of this draft.
Exactly. Oh, I got a guy. I always
course
got
you
a
do.
guy.
Well, is Carly Lloyd available at kicker? Did you guys see her 55-year-old?
Yes, I did. Amazing.
U.S. women's soccer team player coming out and drilling 55-yard field goals.
Let's
for the
go.
Eagles.
I didn't even realize who that was.
Oh yeah,
My
Oh,
dogs
yeah.
are chirping about it too. They love
that's
it.
right. Love U.S. women's soccer.
Oh, they kill it. All right.
All right, so we're rolling through here. And we've got everybody picking away here. Oh, I'm sure. Oh, everybody who's picking away except for those auto pickers.
Yeah, the auto.
All right, what are we thinking, guys, for this final pick? Who's going to be our Mr. Irrelevant?
Oh, there is no Mr. Irrelevant here on this team. Because we'll cut you.
Jay Blaze says Game Time has a guy for everything.
Yeah, I
that's
do.
true.
You got to be like
That
water. You got to be like water, dude. You have to have these guys that you just know. You got to have go-tos. Go-tos. Hey, and also, this is what 24 hours of mock drafting does. It allows you to envision things.
It,
Literally.
it makes you hallucinate things.
Yes.
This and peyote are great for just seeing.
Oh man,
the
sponsorships are
unknown.
just falling off this episode. And that's okay, guys, because we don't need any sponsors when we've got Whisper Nation showing up and showing out with our inaugural Whisper Nation Listener League here, 12-team, half-point PPR. We are in the 15th or 14th round of this bad boy of 15 rounds. This has been a lot of fun. We've had some ups, we've had some downs, we've had some
moments of
We've had some
silence.
clown
Yeah, we've had
rounds.
some
Ups and some downs and some clowning around.
Yeah.
That's pretty brilliant. I endorse that statement.
okay. Yeah, sure.
Have we not?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have. We've
That's
had a lot
better.
of clowning around. So.
I mean, we've gone.
I mean, that's
full,
listen.
full emotions on all of these. On this.
I know,
entire
man.
draft.
There was a point where I thought Johnny was going to walk right out.
Yeah,
There
that's
was a
more of a
point I thought I was gonna walk right out. No, I'm just kidding. I love drafting too much.
Oh,
I'll
dude,
just sit with this pain.
I'm just going to keep letting the computer pick for this guy.
Yeah. 'cause
Will
I
Lutz
can't-
off the board. Lindsay's back up. She took your boy Ito Smith last round. She's trying to slight you, brother.
Hey, have fun with that. You can have that grenade on your bench. Works for me.
Grenade.
In all seriousness, like Ito Smith is not. This guy is falling in the depth chart. He honestly might get cut, and I'm not trying to be mean, but he legitimately could be cut. You've got Daniel Hill over there, who he's been tremendous in training camp and preseason. He's looking like he could be that number 2 guy. And then you've got Quadri Olson, who is just a beast. Travis, what are you doing? You're killing me. Anyway, so I'm just saying that Ito Smith he is a cut candidate, a potential cut candidate for Atlanta.
Potential.
These chips are a potential cut candidate. They've got no salt on them. They're killing me. All right. While I don't agree. I mean, I know that I know that there could be a shakeup there. I know I don't like Ito Smith either, so I can't even make a case for him. I'm not even going to try. Justin Tucker, then Tyrell Williams, then McCole Hardman. Oh, no. Wrong round. Sorry. Trey Burton,
Wrong text.
Baltimore Ravens defense. Steven Gostkowski, Josh Allen. Josh Allen was another guy I was kind of interested there in the Mitch Trubisky spot. But I like that we went Mitch
Yeah.
Trubisky. I feel like that's the better play there.
Agreed.
But
Yeah.
Josh Allen isn't. Huh?
What's
Hold on. All right, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
up?
So-
I got kicked out of the draft lobby. I can't see who's left.
Yeah, I can't either. I got kicked out too. They must.
I
have
liked our
known
last suggestion in the chat thread if he's still available.
If it was.
I'd like him.
You can say it because nobody else.
Yeah, just say it. Yeah, what is it?
I like Dallas
No.
Goddard here. I think Dallas Goddard's upside's legit, whether or not
Alright,
people want to believe
well,
it or not. He
let's take
said,
it.
"Do you want to?" Johnny wants to talk about people's camps, like Curtis Samuel. You want to talk about what the beat writers are saying about Dallas Goddard?
Oh,
Best
no.
Eagles player this offseason is Dallas Goddard. On that stacked roster, the best Eagles player. So I'm taking Dallas Goddard here. We got to
Yeah,
cut him. We got
best
to cut
at
him.
Sitting on the bench, watching the starters play. You're right. He has been the best at that. No, I'm just, in all seriousness, Dallas Goddard is good. I just don't see his value immediately impacting. I think it would take an injury to Ertz in order for him to truly. I mean, but we also do have Jordan Reed, so there's that.
I mean, I'm just looking at guys like Greg Olson and Jimmy Graham. I understand taking them there, but I don't think their upside is what Goddard's
we
is.
messed up when we didn't get Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
That's okay. I don't know that. I mean,
It's all right. We'll
Andrews
play the
Andrews has
stream.
multiple other tight ends around him as well too. Then I know we don't like Hurst as much
we,
as
we don't
everybody
actually,
else.
Whisper Nation, we don't
but-
actually believe this right now. We are just trying to make ourselves feel better. No,
I mean,
I'm just.
I've watched them consistently throw to Hurst. I think they want to try and make him a thing. So I love Mark Andrews though, friend of the show.
Friend of
Mark
the
Andrews.
show,
Mark
Andrews.
Mandrews.
All right,
Dallas
so-
Goddard, then Kirk Cousins, then Jake Elliott, Nate Frankel with his final pick here.
All right, so what are your final thoughts here? How do we do? Do we do okay? I think we did. I think we rebounded well. I think that we have the two best wide receivers that your money can buy.
I love that Melvin Gordon upset. So exciting. It makes her unstoppable. He does his thing.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate we were just a pick away from getting Justin Jackson.
Yeah,
But
that
I
would-
did like what we did by getting the San Francisco backfield and ensuring that we should have whoever the guy is in San Francisco, which we know will be good.
Agreed.
Not quite the upside of the Los Angeles offense guy, but we have at least half of that upside this year by having Melvin Gordon, who will report at some point, because
Yeah.
unlike Le'Veon Bell, he is under contract and will need to accrue some games this
Hey,
season.
if all of we'll know we'll have them for the playoffs. All right, you got that.
And we'll be in the playoffs
Yeah,
because
look
we're
at
the
this
fantasy
roster.
whisperer.
All right, we have a good.
I
roster.
I think it's great creating natural competition now between Jacob Blay, who sniped so many guys that we had our eye on. So, Jacob, we're
Yeah.
coming for you this season.
You could tell he was mock
Watch
drafting with us.
Lisa's team stacked, looking great.
Yeah, it's a good team.
Johnny, let's talk about Reed Tyler's team here at the number 1 spot.
All right, let me move some.
How do you think he did here?
So let's see. I'm gonna move this so Whisper Nation can see here. So Saquon, Travis Kelce, Adam Thielen, Derrick Henry, Cooper Kupp, Alshon Jeffrey, Kenyon Drake. I like that. And then Drew Brees, I probably wouldn't have taken. I think, especially where he got him. I think that there's a lot more quarterbacks with higher upside, but it's not bad. Drew Brees could be decent. I mean, there's so many quarterbacks that he could just play the waiver wire, so it really doesn't matter. Jacksonville Jaguars defense, like that. N'Keal Harry.
You like that?
You like that? Jalen Samuels could be number 1 if Connor goes down. T.J. Hawkinson, not a fan of T.J., but he got him super late, so it doesn't really matter. And he already has Kelsey, Mecole Hardman, upside play there. Gostkowski, good kicker, and then Josh Allen. So he grabbed Josh Allen. So I'm actually okay with Josh Allen over Drew Brees. But he's got a very solid team. I think that he did a good job, and it'll be fun playing him in the regular season and then beating him.
Yeah, I mean, I like what you got going here, Reed. You spent a lot of time hitting us up all off season about this league, and now you got the number 1 pick. Congratulations on that. Unfortunately for you, you're going to lose to us, but I mean, you did put a good team together here. So,
Yeah.
Sauce Boss 22, best name in the draft right now. Christian McCaffrey, Antonio Brown, Devonta Freeman, Robert Woods. Big fan, actually, of these 4 picks. I think I like what he did at his spots. Robert Woods is a nice, safe floor play to pair with Antonio Brown, who could be a little bit risky. Devonta Freeman is a nice upside play to pair with Christian McCaffrey, who is a solid floor guy.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see how he rounded out the rest of the draft here. Austin Eckler, who we think is going to have a good year. Metrically, he is a guy that does really well. And if Justin Jackson can help carry the load, Eckler should still continue to do good things, especially in this half PPR format.
Yeah.
Mike Williams, Sterling Shepard, Emmanuel Sanders. Sanders is a guy, Johnny, you've been turning on a little bit as of late, just based on his practice reports and what he's looked like on the field in preseason.
Yeah.
Got him here in the 9th. Are you okay with a 9th spot for Emmanuel Sanders?
Yeah, that's fine. I like.
I mean, that's his 5th wide receiver, Johnny. So I really like what he was able to do. He waited completely on tight end and quarterback. Not 100% in love with him taking Phillip Rivers here. Let's see, where would that have been? So he could have taken Lamar, Roethlisberger, Brady, waited and taken maybe even Jameis. I just don't know that Rivers has the upside that he once had.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe there's a situation where Melvin Gordon holding out could cause Phillip Rivers to chuck the ball a whole lot more. We'll see. And then Peyton Barber, just kind of a depth pick, and Tyrell Williams, Michael Badley. So not bad. I really love the depth that's here for Sauce Boss. He is weak at quarterback and tight end, but that is where you can be weak, because if you don't have a top 3 guy, you're pretty much across the board. You're going to make up that ground.
Yeah.
Dawson Mizell, who started off pretty strong, but unfortunately hit a sleeper glitch here because he was auto-drafting for a good amount of time after that. But let's see how his team shook out. Alvin Kamara, Aaron Jones, followed by Amari Cooper, Tyler Boyd, Evan Ingram, Josh Gordon, Darius Geis, Matt Ryan, Jordan Howard, then Cam Newton. Would have liked him to take 1 QB. It might have been the computer making him do the 2 QB. He'll end up dropping for some value here, I think. Only like him doing the 1 QB thing, since one of those guys should be fine for him. On the flip side, we went 2 QBs because Andrew Luck's got the injury thing going on. So we may end up just dropping Mitch by the time the regular season rolls around. Lindsey comes in with Ezekiel Elliott, Keenan Allen, T.Y. Hilton, Phillip Lindsay, Tyler Lockett, Jared Cook, Rashad Penny, Marvin Jones, Carson Wentz. Yeah, she does have some upside on this team, but she does have some valleys if things don't pan off. Luckily for her, I do like Wentz's upside to be top 5 this year in that loaded offense. I just not a fan of Phillip Lindsay, where you got to take him. Do like Tyler Lockett here. Okay. All right. Well, if you guys are interested about the rest of your teams, you can DM us here. We got to jump off here. We appreciate you guys all coming through. We'd grade every team, but we are running out of time. So we're just going to stop and say we drafted the best team, and you guys know it. So deal with it. No, thank you so much for joining the league, guys. We appreciate you. Click like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys later. This is Big Travian for Johnny Game Time Hicks. We're the Fantasy Whisperers, and we're out. Peace.
Peace.